My name is Amanda Honebein, and my presentation is on the pro-legalization of marijuana. So what is marijuana? The CDC states that marijuana is the dried flower derived from the leaves of the cannabis plant. The World Health Organization recognized that cannabis is the most widely used illicit drug globally, and in 2013, an estimated 181.8 million people aged 15 to 64 used cannabis for non-medical purposes globally. And Harvard publication stated about 85% of Americans supported legalizing medical marijuana. Marijuana is currently legalized in 11 states for adults over the age of 21 and is legal for medical use in 33 states. So how does marijuana work? Cannabis is a psychoactive plant that contains more than 500 components, of which 104 of them are cannabinoids. In the CNN video, Your Brain on Marijuana, it is stated that the plant's flowers and leaves contain these cannabinoids, which produce cannabis's mind-altering effects. The high is largely caused by the cannabinoid THC. The marijuana, when consumed or inhaled, goes directly into the bloodstream and then directly to the brain. In the National Geographic video Cannabis 101, mentions that in the brain, THC attaches to neurons that send information via chemicals known as neurotransmitters. The THC decreases the amount of neurotransmitters the neurons produce, thereby decreasing the amount of information transmitted. This results in psychoactive effects, and because of these effects, cannabis has been used for medicinal purposes for thousands of years. And this is because of the CBD chemical primarily within the cannabis, which can quiet electrical activity within the brain. So, what are the health benefits of marijuana? Nicole Richter from Marijuana Break states that the cannabis plant has a great history of being integrated into ancient Chinese medicine, dating back to over 2,000 years. The Food and Drug Administration, which analyzes the efficiency and safety of drugs, has approved for multiple drugs that contain CBD, one for treatment of seizures, and the others for therapeutic uses, specifically for nausea associated with cancer chemotherapy and for the treatment of anorexia. FDA is aware that unapproved cannabis products are being used as a form of treatment for numerous medical conditions, such as, but not limited to, cancer and chemotherapy-induced nausea, epilepsy, spasticity associated with multiple sclerosis, AIDS wasting, and neuropathic pain. Since the FDA evaluates for safety, it is unpredictable how unapproved drugs may behave and what consequences they may entail. NCBI writers David Hermanson and Lawrence Marnett stated that it has been shown that marijuana decreases pain as well as increases appetite in as little as 5 minutes in patients with cancer. Marijuana also has been demonstrated to have capabilities of inhibiting and suppressing tumor growth in vitro due to the THC and CBD chemicals that are present, states the American Cancer Society. This debate on the legalization comes from the limitations we have with existing literature and data in providing clear and precise insights as to what exactly the positive and negative effects of marijuana legalization would hold, and what medical use laws would infer. Withholding many discrepancies and blurriness, the legalization of marijuana brings up many questions regarding the safety of the product and how it can affect organizations as well as society. There is also speculation as to who exactly would benefit from the legalization of medical marijuana if the advantages would outweigh the disadvantages. Legalization of recreational and medical cannabis would also eliminate the crime rate of arrests associated with the drug, and also would save the money that corresponds to those arrests. Of all the 1.65 million individuals ever arrested for drug charges, 4 out of 5 were accused of possessing marijuana. Nearly half of those arrests, the individuals were carrying a very minimal amount of the cannabis drug, states Mark Ulcer. 25% of the world's population resides within the United States, and 5% of that comprises the worldwide cumulative population. If marijuana is legalized, this would immediately eliminate our police force's hardships in times with cannabis-related arrests. The legalization of marijuana would therefore eliminate any charges or crimes that are involved with the cultivation, possession, use, sale, or paraphernalia pertaining or associated with the drug. In Colorado, where marijuana is legalized for medical and recreational use, it is estimated that the state saved an estimate of $40 million from the lack of arrests pertaining to the drug. The legality status of marijuana can make a very dramatic impact on the economy and will save the government and taxpayers a very large sum of money. The legalization of the drug can also potentially create large revenue sales from the market. The market supply of marijuana can generate significant profit, especially from the sales tax applied to the product. This will only stimulate new job opportunities and will only help the economy and help increase our gross domestic product. Stated by Quentin Bottrell, this can potentially provide roughly 4,200 new jobs in the opening of new marijuana businesses, which is greatly benefiting the economy. It is estimated that the marijuana industry can have a net worth of approximately $1.7 billion, and in Colorado, where marijuana is legalized, sales reach $181 million in just 1 year. This leads to marijuana being the top cash crop, which generates over $35 billion each year, according to Drug Science. A New York Times article written by Michael Cooper stated that with marijuana being part of the legal market, this means the government can now make money off cannabis by taxing the product. And since marijuana taxing is somewhat foreign to many, states and cities have taken different approaches into integrating tax into their economy. In California, where marijuana is legalized for medical and recreational use, it is estimated that with the sales tax associated to marijuana sale, that the government would make roughly $7 per zero point 0.5 grams of marijuana sold, overall potentially resulting in over $2 billion profit from the sales alone. My stance. I am personally for medical marijuana, as I think anything that can benefit your health is great, and anything that can give our economy money is great. I do think that more research should be put into the topic before it is legalized elsewhere to ensure the safety as well, but as of right now, from what I see, I think it's a great idea. I thank you for watching my presentation.